So I will read the text, number 60 paragraph. We were exposed at flattering others for favor, yet always complaining we are sad and depressed. The money we have gathered we cannot bear to part with. Like misers, we hold it and feel we are poor. Trample him, dance on the head of this treacherous concept of selfish concern, tear out 60 heart that self-centered butcher who slaughter our child to gain final release. 61. We have done very little to benefit from one, yet always remind him how much we have done. We have never accomplished a thing in our lifetime, yet boasting and bragging, we are filled with conceit. Trample him, dance on the head of this treacherous concept of selfish concern, tear out the heart of self-centered butcher who slaughtered our child to gain final relief. 62. We have many great masters and teachers to guide us, yet shrinking our duty, ignore what they teach. We have many disciples, yet do not ever help them. We cannot be bothered to give them advice. Trample him, dance on the head of this treacherous concept of selfish concern, tear out the heart of this self-centered butcher who slaughtered our child to gain final relief. 63. We promise to do many glorious deeds, yet in practice we give others minimal help. Our spiritual fame has been spread far and wide, yet inwardly all of our thoughts are repulsive, not only to God, but to demons and ghosts. Trample him, dance on the head of this treacherous concept of selfish concern, tear out the heart of this self-centered butcher who slaughtered our child to gain final relief. Now I will read the commentary. Number 60 commentary. We are skilled in flattering for gain. We do not ask bluntly, right? But rather indirectly suggest what you give me last year was very useful for Dharma practitioner. This form of wrong livelihood is very bad. As Shantideva said, one should not live either from the wealth gained by claiming an undeserved share through one's power of authority, like the king who levies an unreasonable tax. Other form of wrong livelihood are giving while expecting return, or that gain through hypocrisy, getting up unusually early to make physical preparation and offering them when one knows that one partner is coming for a visit, hoping to impress him. Live by the 5 wrong livelihood, yet think of ourselves as striving. We always think we are lacking something. We do not wear but lock away the clothes we have. And likewise, we hoard food and do not eat it. Although we do have little money and some goods, under the bondage of miserliness, we are unable to be generous or making offerings. All these mistakes are the responsibility of self-judging attitude. Trample upon again. 61. We have done nothing to our critic, yet we claim to help this monastery and done this or that, we become prominent in our own speech. We had manner, we remind others of we have helped them, we should not be remind them, for we have anyway promised to help all others sentient beings to gain release. Though we have done nothing, we boast such conceit is caused by self-judging. Trample upon the self-concern which slaughter our chance of release. 62. We have many spiritual masters, but the maintenance of our spiritual resolution met before him is deplorable. We have too many relationships and too many disciples, none of which we care for well, more concerned for reputation than a spiritual result. We get a huge number of students but care not for them either spiritually or materially. During the time of Kadamba Lama, 11th and 4th century, it was difficult to become disciple spiritual master. A very concentrated approach and introduction were necessary. 63. We have promised to keep a spiritual commitment, but not although we have committed ourselves to training in enlightenment for all beings. In fact, even our moral discipline is full of holes. Our actions are so poor, so that shock even the evil spirit. We need to mention the transcendental deities. We should seek spiritual guide who cause us delusions to decrease the one who stimulate them further. Great Lama Tsongkhapa said, whoever we choose to be our spiritual guide, he should be one who will cause our delusion to recede and our wholesome thought to flourish. Seeing self-judging thought as the cause of these various downfalls, trample about it. If this teaching cannot be transformed our mind, what will? Yet we keep them on the shelf, away from our mind. How can any effect take place? At least intensity, the urgency of developing essential bodhicitta and cutting the self-judging thought. Great Lama Tsongkhapa said, bodhicitta is limestone, the piece of wood placed in the center of a statue when it is concentrate of the Mahayana path. It is the most extensive of the inconceivable means. It is elixir of the two kinds of accumulation. For the smallest virtue done with motivation on great merit, this is a true treasure attracting and condensing all accumulation. Knowing this, the great undaunted bodhicitta take it as their practice. I, a yogi, have practiced this way. Those who wish to be liberation should be likewise. Bodhicitta is essence of 100 different practices. If one is devoid of bodhicitta, even if one practices the three meditational deities together, one would not attain even path of accumulation. Root of speaking, becoming a Mahayanist, having the opportunity to hear the teaching of both relative and ultimate bodhicitta yield vast merit created by them, those necessary to be born in a Brahma's realm. While having glorious name, our practice is so poor, so that our misdeeds shock even evil spirit. The cause is self-judgment thought, trample him and rip out his heart. If, as the teacher who has not practiced this teaching, it is like turning a goat into devil. We need to teach her to feed our longing, desire, and hatred, but we must cultivate a spiritual guide who help reduce our delusions. The words of the Dharmarakshita was very powerful, striking directly in our shortcoming. He is an exemplary teacher, both teacher and teaching must strike out shortcoming unerringly. If they are complacent toward them, they show the lack of compassion of one who allows a blind man to walk towards the precipice. Right? Although we have least but limited teaching, we speak as with authority and spout nonsense and answering the needs of disciples. On the other hand, if we had listened properly to the impeccable teachings, we would never be loose to teach others. We have listened so little, so narrowly that we proclaim all sorts of undesirable interpretations while knowing nothing. As an example or effect of limited knowledge, a man was one requested to bless a monk robe according to Vinaya, but not wanting to admit as ignorance. He asked for wax to be brought and sprinkled the robes with water. We too have proclaimed distorted realization and so forth, all because of our self-judging attitude, trampling. So this one, root text and commentary. So now I want to mainly talking about two greatest enemy, right? So self-judging mind and grasping mind. These are two greatest enemy. So and antidote self-judging mind is bodhicitta mind. So bodhicitta. And antidote to self-grasping mind is wisdom realizing emptiness. We can say ultimate truth. So these two are cannot go together. Grasping mind and wisdom realizing oppose each other. Self-judging mind and judging other oppose each other. Cannot go together, right? So therefore, we need to think about bodhicitta mind, right? Bodhicitta mind. So bodhicitta mind is our daily practice. So we need to train our mind. We have knowledge, instruction. Now we have to meditate on the bodhicitta mind, right? So we know how to meditate on the bodhicitta mind. So we know the definition of bodhicitta mind, right? Bodhicitta mind is, it's not like something mind limitless object. There's no limitation of the object of the bodhicitta mind. When we say bodhicitta mind, object, there's no limit. Object is limitless. Not only human beings, but all sentient beings are the object of the bodhicitta mind. So when we are thinking, wishing bodhicitta mind, we can accumulate huge amount of merit. Because we're just thinking, wishing all sentient beings liberate from the suffering. This is wishing bodhicitta mind. When we are thinking like this with a good intention, we will create huge amount of merit. So we need merit and removing obstacles to go together. If only merit, we need merit plus removing obstacles. So removing obstacles means, so that means applying antidote to the afflictive emotions, 84,000 delusions, right? So Buddha taught 84,000 teachings. So all 84,000 teaching finally comes to bodhicitta mind and wisdom realizing emptiness. 84,000. No matter Buddha taught 84,000 teaching, but finally comes to 2 points: bodhicitta mind and wisdom realizing emptiness. Just like tuning the milk, we get the butter. When we tune the milk, right? we get the butter. So similar like that. So bodhicitta, mind, and the wisdom realizing emptiness is the essence of all teachings. No matter all teaching, no matter what we are doing, in our daily activities, we are talking, we are sleeping, we are eating, we are drinking. We can transform all into the bodhicitta mind. If you have understand how to improve my bodhicitta mind. So therefore, so first, very important, we need to understand four principles. Very good for understanding principle, right? Four principles. Right? Four principles, very good for understanding or you building how to understand the nature of reality of emptiness. And then we need to understand five powers. So this power, if you use, every day we can use like power of intention, power of white seed, power of familiarity, and the power of antidote, power of prayer. So we can do this every day, intention, seed, familiarity, and antidote and prayer. We can do this every day. So this will increase your bodhicitta mind and sustain your bodhicitta mind. You know what I mean? So therefore, first we have to understand about the four principles. Four principles. Number one is the principle of nature. Number two is the principle of dependence. And number three is the principle of functioning. And number four is the principle of evidence, proof. So these are like natural law. No, just everybody have this one. Principle of nature, principle of dependence, and principle of functioning, and principle of evidence or the proof. So when we talk about the principle of nature, so that means nature, it's natural law of cause and effect. You know what I mean? As long as we born in this universe, in this samsara, our nature is pain and suffering. This is, nobody can make it, right? The principle of nature. So it means as long as we are dominated by delusion and karma, its nature is suffering. Like in samsara, like nature. We say nature means it's something, fire nature is heat. Like the natural, natural. So it is natural. If we are born in this samsara, it is nature is, samsara nature is, due to ignorance and compositional factor, and then create the karma, then we carry the karma by the consciousness, and then motivated by ignorance, right, and plant the karmic seed, and consciousness carry the karma and bring you birth, aging, death, all this in nature, This is understanding principle of nature. So we understand principle of nature. If you understand it, as long as we are dominated by karma and delusion, then nature is our suffering. So you don't want this suffering, then you move into the principle of dependence. Dependence means cause and effect. You know what I mean? Because we want happiness and we don't want pain and suffering. So happiness coming from the cause and pain coming from cause and condition. So it is nature like this, but you don't like this nature. So you have to think about principle of dependence. I don't want pain and suffering, therefore I don't want to create the cause of pain and suffering. You know what I mean? So dependence means cause and effect, like cause. So, so that means negative seed cause bring you pain and suffering. Positive seed cause bring you happiness. So you you don't want pain and suffering, then you realize, oh, it is nature. Now, principle of dependence means, so I don't want pain and suffering, then I should not create the cause of pain and suffering. So that means, so then you try not to create negative, try to create more and more positive in your daily life, thinking more positive. And then this will make you positive and make you happy, right? So that is principle of dependence. So it depends on cause and effect. There is no independent existence, cause and condition. Everything depends on the cause and condition. So if we say we want happiness, but we are creating cause of pain and suffering, like we are not creating cause of happiness. That's how fundamental ignorance confuses our life. Because nobody wants pain and suffering, but we are creating more and more suffering instead of creating happiness. Because this is very clear how fundamental ignorance confuses our life. So if you understand the principle of dependence, then you are able to understand how harmful is ignorance is. Right? Ignorance is mistaken mind. No matter how strong ignorance is mistaken mind. Right? Its base is no good. Ignorance cannot go too far, There's a limitation. There's a limitation of the afflictive emotions. Anger have limitation. Desire have limitation, But when we talk about the bodhicitta mind and compassionate mind, no limit, just go far and far, It's just like people who go to gymnastics, right, building their body, they have limitation, right? No matter how fit these people, but you cannot jump on your shoulder. As in the Dharmarakshira text said, no matter how fit you are, you are very fit, but you cannot jump on your shoulder. When you are very fit. This is in the Dharmarakshira text. So he gave this analogy, and then compassion there's no limitation. It just goes farther and farther, far and far, there's no limit. But external things, there's a limitation. Right? And delusion, there's a limit. You know what I mean? There's a limit of the afflictive emotions. Like so similar. So the principle of dependence, then you can understand that how ignorance is deceiving our life, confusion our life, right? Then move into the principle of functioning. So functioning, functioning means, so if you do bad things, bad function to you. Do good things, good function to you, right? If you create more positive, and if you are creating more and more positive, then your functioning is good. Your body and mind very function happily, mind is happy, body is healthy, and functioning. You know what I mean? So so that principle of functioning, and then you see, you're not just looking for the temporary happiness. Temporary happiness is just comes and go, There's a limit. You're looking more than that. You want something, how can I say, you want more permanent joy and happiness. More permanent joy and happiness. So you understand the principle of the nature, then understand the principle of dependence, and then you understand principle of the functioning, functioning. And then you use the proof. Use the proof means use the logic. So use the logic means there are many logic, right? Then you can very easy, self-judging mind, you use the mistaken logic. Self-judging mind is mistaken confusion mind. Bodhicitta mind is not mistaken mind. So these two come together. Who will defeat? Who will defeat the who will defeat the self-judging mind? And bodhicitta mind can defeat self-judging mind because logic, reasonable. Because self-judging mind, mistaken. It's confusion mind. Make more and more pain, suffering, dissatisfaction, all problem, self-judging mind. All good come from the bodhicitta mind. So you will prove this one, you know what I mean? This is called principle of proof. So you practice, principle of nature, principle of dependence, principle of functioning and principle of proof. You will understand how ignorance is very harmful. If you understand ignorance is harmful, then you are understanding the reality. Reality. What is real reality is go beyond ignorance, like to defeat the ignorance or to defeat the afflictive emotions, negative mind, right? And then you need to increase your bodhicitta mind, right? Bodhicitta mind. So you increase your bodhicitta mind. You use this. This is every day we use power of intention. Set up intention. Intention means I'm going to practice bodhicitta mind in my life, not benefiting for me and others. Set up intention. But intention, how long I will practice? I'm going to practice bodhicitta mind until I achieve enlightenment. Maybe too far. Maybe until rest of my life. You make some intention. I can practice bodhicitta maybe until I die. Set of intention, maybe 24 hours, whatever, this morning to evening, I will practice bodhicitta mind, intention, right? So that power intention, right? That intention, every day I should practice bodhicitta. But how long? Until rest of my life, until I achieve enlightenment. Set up that intention, right? And then so you have this intention, I want to practice bodhicitta mind in order to benefit all sentient beings or rest of my life, right? Then next comes to, I will not waste my time, You already set up intention, I'm going to practice bodhicitta mind, rest of my life or benefit all sentient beings. So now I'm not going to waste my life. Whatever I do, I wake up morning, drinking coffee, tea, lunch, walking, talking. I can turn everything into the bodhicitta mind. It means it's not like I'm drinking because I want a good body. I'm drinking and eating because I have good body and mind. I can help others. Therefore, I'm drinking coffee. I'm eating food. They all turn into the bodhicitta mind, right? So intention. So then I will not waste my time, right? So then I will not waste my time, right? Then why I should practice this bodhicitta mind? Because I have enemies. Who's your enemy? Self-judging is my enemy. So I want to defeat this enemy. Therefore, I'm going to do this. So you set intention, right? And then intention, set up your mind, right? And then not wasting your time, right? And then ask why I'm doing this, because I want to defeat my enemy. Who's your enemy? Self-judging mind. Therefore, I'm going to practice this. So then that will help to develop your bodhicitta mind. Then next move to the power of seed. Seed means seed means cause. So the bodhicitta mind is cause. Compassion cause bodhicitta mind, right? So when you bodhicitta mind, it's very different from ordinary cause. Ordinary cause produce result, and then cause is exhausted, right? And then that result also become cause of another. It never end, become. You plant the seed, right? Give you, and then that become cause of another seed. It will, you know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? The ordinary cause, so you plant the seed, and then when result come, seed expired or exhausted, right? But bodhicitta is not like that. It will be never decrease your result. It will be always there, until you become enlightened. It's just like just like one drop of water put in the ocean, it will remain until ocean remains. It's something like this, So what power white seed means? White seed means plant the good seed. Good seed. Seed married, and removing obstacles. So married, removing obstacles. So these two seed help you to develop your bodhicitta mind. Seed means you are planting the positive, not negative seed. So that seed, and then familiarity. You should familiar with that good seed. With compassion, loving kindness, more you are familiar until it become like natural. Natural. I'm become familiar with this kind of thing. And then power of repentance. So that means repentance is removing obstacles. So who is our obstacle? All delusion. Anger, jealousy, then what I should do? Anger arise, antidote. Right? Ignorance arise, antidote. Self-judging mind arise, antidote. So that's power of antidote. If self-judging mind arise, then what's antidote of self-judging mind? Judging others or bodhicitta mind. Right? And ignorance, confusion, confuse our mind, then try to dispel. Try to think the nature of the mind. Nature of mind is clear, and these advantages are temporary. They are not nature of the mind. They always come and go. They are like cloud. The blue sky always there, The sky is blue, but clouds come and if it is cloudy, we can't see the sky. Because if diluted mind, we can't see our clear mind. So when you realize that, then remedy, and then prayer. Prayer means dedication. Dedicate. So you have all this merit, accumulation of merit. It's just like precious jewel in your hand, and you put this in very safe place. It will not lost. If you have precious thing in your hand, like gold or whatever, you have to put in a safe place. It will not lost. All this, what we did, power of intention, power of white seed, power of familiarity, and the power of antidote, all these are precious things in your head. Now you make sure not lost this. So then you dedicate this. When you dedicate this, you already said, dedicate, you already say whatever merit, it will not, destroyed by the affiliated emotion. So these are very important. You do this practice every day. Guarantee your mind is very clear. You know what I mean? No confusion. Okay, thank you very much.